Hi, and welcome to Core Form Fitness. Today we are going to be doing a full body strengthen and stretch workout. We're going to try to keep it really effective, really efficient, and super fun. So all you need today is your mat. I suggest 1 or 2 sets of weights, whatever you're comfortable with, and keep your water bottle close by because we are going to try to just get this done without taking too many breaks, but it's always essential to have water. So we're going to get right to it. Let's bring our feet directly below our hips. Let's bring our mind into our bodies. Let's cross our arms. Take a deep breath in and let's stretch up onto the toes, reach for the ceiling, and then stretch those fingers really wide, just opening up the joints, getting the blood flowing, getting some oxygen to all parts of the body. Repeat that again. Stretch out to the side. And now with one arm, we're going to reach up to the ceiling, opening up that whole side. Cross that same leg as raise the arm behind you and open up all that fascia. It's probably going to feel pretty good. And then come back to center. Let's go with other side. Reach on up. Reach those fingertips up. Cross that same leg behind your leg and stretch all the way to the other side. Opening up all that fascia and come back to center. One more time, we're going to reach up to the ceiling, stay on our feet, and then we're going to bring the elbows down while we look up at the ceiling, all the way down to our ribs. And we're going to exhale round the spine just to start loosening up our cervical spine. One more time, reach up, look up at the ceiling, open up all those scalenes in case you've been looking down all day. And round. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to continue all the way down to the mat. We're going to bounce here, releasing the neck, releasing the spine. We're going to step the feet wider, and we're going to draw soft figure eights to get the spinal fluid moving, to get the blood flowing. And then we're going to reverse our eights to get the brain in the game. And then we're going to pause in the middle, take a nice deep breath in, reach your fingertips to the side, try to straighten out those knees. We're trying to stretch those hamstrings, open the chest up, and exhale, bend the knees around the spine, drop the head. Again, big inhale, flat back, pull that belly up to the spine, stretch those fingertips wide, and we're going to rotate one arm over towards the other leg. Look up at that ceiling, opening everything up, come down, bend the knees, drop the head, inhale, exhale. Let's go to the other side. Try to look up at that hand so you get a full rotation, opening up that whole chest and shoulder, and drop down, bend the knees, drop the head, and slowly roll back up to standing. Now we're going to put our feet externally rotated. We're going to try to push our knees out over our ankles, place our hands on the inside of the knees, and we're going to press one shoulder forward and press that leg back towards the wall behind you or whatever is behind you. This is a nice low back and hip opener. And we're going to inhale and exhale, go to the other side. We have renamed this one the awesome stretch because if you've ever done my videos, this is the awesome stretch and it never doesn't feel awesome. So both sides 2 times. Always trying to inhale in the nose, exhale as you release deeper into the stretch. And then if you can, we're going to come down, stretch out our adductors. You're welcome to stay up high. If you feel like you're pretty flexible, you can come down low. We really want to try to get the adductor opened up. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale, go to the other side. Again, it's fine to stay up nice and high. If you don't feel like your knee's ready for this, to go that low, it's perfectly okay. We're just trying to get the body ready for more movement. So that is our warm up for right now. We're going to come up to standing. We're going to start off with, if you just have one set of weights, you're going to use those. If you have 2 set of weights, we're going to use a smaller set of weights because we're going to be doing shoulders first and we're going to be doing big movements. So open the feet wide and make sure that when you come down, your knees are coming out over your ankles. So don't let them roll in because you're going to put too much pressure on the inside of your knee. We want to keep the quads working on both sides of the knee to keep that knee nice and strong and stable. We're going to grab our weights, pull our shoulder blades back, pull our core back towards our spine, and we're going to go down into a wide squat. And when we go down, we're going to lift the arms up and rotate the hands to face the wall behind us. And we're going to repeat that 10 times for 2. Trying to make sure that you're pushing those knees out over the ankles. 3. And 4, rotating those hands back to the wall. 5, trying to keep that core engaged. 6, smile if it makes it easier, or you can scowl at me. It's okay, I can't see you. And 8, and 9, but I hope you enjoy it. And 10. Excellent. So that was our warm-up. We got our hips, we got our legs, we got our shoulders. We're going to do one more shoulder exercise. So keep the smaller weights if you have them. We're going to place the legs directly below the hips. Keep that core pulling in. And I like to call these around the shoulder sockets. We're going to bring the arms up. Keep them below the armpits. Come around. And then they're going to come behind you with the palms facing forward. So don't have them backwards for rounding those shoulders. Try to keep them back. And then we come back from behind and down. And we're just going to do 8 of these. So this is 2 and 2. Yep. You have to go back and around for 1. And this is 3 and 3. So we're trying not to get out of the shoulder socket because then you're going into your trapezius and that's just going to strain your neck. Here comes 5. And 5, and 6, and 6. Trying to keep that stomach strong. Try to keep the chest open so you don't close it. Here's 7, and 7, and last one, 8. Palms are facing forward, and 8. Great. We're going to put these down, and we're going to try to go right into biceps and triceps. I like to use a little bit higher weights for my biceps and triceps. A little warm in here today. We're going to go onto our mats. We're going to do a standing lunge. So we're going to try to keep the shoulders over the hips so you're not falling forward and putting unnecessary stress on the low back. Try to look that your knee is over your ankle so you're not sickling in or your back foot isn't turned out and your knee is going in. We're going to try to keep the feet nice and parallel. Try to keep the core engaged. Keep those shoulders open, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to tricep, bend the back knee, extend behind, and we're going to come up and bicep curl. So it's a standing lunge, so you're not going to fall down, and tricep, kick back, knee comes down, and then bicep curl, come up. And we're going to repeat for 6 more. This is 3, and up, and 4, and up, and 5, and up. Try to keep that chest and shoulders over your hips. 6, and up. 7, really squeeze those triceps. Bicep curl, and last one. And then we got to switch legs, so there's 8 more to go. So come on up. Again, check your feet, check your knees. Try to keep everything parallel. Try to engage your core and keep the body over the hips as opposed to falling forward. So again, we can start with our tricep extension. We're going to bend the back knee, extend the arms, and bicep curl. That's 8. We're going backwards. And 7, and 6. I'm really trying to remember to keep my shoulders pulling back. 5, and 4, and 3. So I love this because it's so multifunctional. We're doing biceps, triceps, and legs. And 2. Actually, I think this is the last one. And excellent. We're going to put those weights down. If you have different weights, you can grab a sip of water. And then we're going to go back to shoulders. So I'm going to grab my smaller weights. We're going to do the same thing we started with, but only 5 this time. And then we're going to do another one, similar stance in the squats, a little different with the arms. So the first one, feet are externally rotated, knees are open, going over the ankles, core is in, Shoulder blades are pulling back. As we go down, our arms lift up and rotate to palms behind you for 1 and 2. You can think about activating the glutes, keeping those knees pulling over the ankles. We're going to do 2 more of these, and then we're going to keep our bottom part doing the same squats, but we're going to switch the arms. So we have 1 more, and down. So now we're going to bring the arms out in front of our sternum, and we're just going to open them to the sides and come down. A little more back involved in this one for 5 and 4. Keeping that stomach strong, and 3 and 2. Last one. Excellent. I like combining both body parts, make it nice and efficient. We can put those down. Mine are sandbags, so they're okay. Don't throw yours if they're not. You can grab your bigger weights if you have them. We're going to do another multitasker. We're going to have our feet wide again, but this time we're going to keep them parallel. So when you go down, I really want you to focus that your knee is still staying over the ankle and not sickling in or going out. We're trying to keep that strength equal around the knee to keep it healthy and protected. So we're going to go ahead, pull the shoulder blades back. We're going to lunge over that foot, check your knee, bicep curl, come up to center, drop the arms. We're going to lunge over the other knee and do a tricep extension. And up. Bicep curl for 2. Tricep extension. And up. And 3. Check your form. And 3. And I'll show you from the side. 4. And 4. So you know that your arms are trying to go back, really get those triceps. And 5. And 5. And 6, keeping that chest up. And 6. Checking those knees. 7. And 7. And 8. And 8. We're going to try to do 2 more each side. 9. And 9. And last one. 10. And 10. All right, we're going to put the weights down. A lot of the next part, we're going to come down onto our mat. So feel free to take another sip of water. Always stay hydrated. We're up in the 80s today. So it feels like an extra effective workout. And we're going to go ahead. Let's come to the back of our mat, whatever the back of your mat is for you. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Our feet are parallel. Cross the arms in front. Reach up to the ceiling. Look at the ceiling. Wiggle those fingers. Step on those tiptoes. Bring the heels down. Bend the knees. Round through the spine. You can just release the neck. And then think about engaging the abs, and we're going to walk out into a plank. Here you have a few options. You can hold your plank, or you can go into a push-up, a chest push-up, or if you prefer, you can do a tricep push-up. Or again, you can just hold your plank for that whole count. Now we're going to press the glutes up in the air, walk the hands back, using the abs. Take one hand, try to straighten the knee and reach to your opposite shin. Then we're going to bend the knees, drop the head, and roll back up to standing. And we're going to repeat. Cross the arms in front. Inhale, reach the fingertips to the ceiling, heels down, bend the knees, round through that spine. Drop that head because this is where your spine ends at your skull. Walk out into a nice strong plank. Again, you can hold the plank, or you can go into a chest push-up, or elbows against the ribs for a tricep push-up, or just hold your plank. Again, we're going to reach back, walk the hands a couple steps back, try to straighten those legs. You're getting a big hamstring stretch. Reach opposite hand to opposite shin, or wherever you can get to. And then we're going to stay in the downward dog for a count. Take a nice deep breath in, bring the heels up. And nice big exhale, press back in those heels, press that chest towards your legs. It's a great stretch. One more time, inhale. And exhale, press all the way back. And then we're gonna bring the knees down to the mat. We're gonna do one great stretch here that everyone pretty much loves. I'm gonna face you just so you can see a little better. You can stay horizontal on your mat. We're gonna take the right arm, we're gonna cross it, thread it under our body, on your knees, stretch that whole upper shoulder out, and then we're gonna rotate up to the ceiling. And we're just gonna do 2 of these per side today, since we're keeping it pretty efficient. And 2. That doesn't mean that we're not paying attention to our form. It doesn't mean we're not breathing deep. Switch sides. Cross that arm underneath the body. Inhale. And exhale as you rotate that whole chest up and open towards the ceiling. And one more on this side. And look up at the ceiling. Excellent. So now we're going to come sit on our mats. We're going to do some ab work, some back work, and some side legs. So we're going to bring our feet to the front of the mat. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And we're going to exhale. We're going to forward bend. And wherever you get to is fine. Just try not to bend your knees, because if you keep bending your knees, you're always going to miss out on stretching out these tendons and ligaments behind your knees. So even if you're only here, that's better, because we want to keep trying to stretch. We're going to do one more reach up to the ceiling. And big exhale, forward bend. And now we're going to roll down to the mat. We're going to try to bring our mind into our abdominals, close those ribs, try to keep the chin and chest open. And we're going to try to slowly lower ourselves with our mind and our bodies and our muscles all engaged, all the way down to the mat. Nice and gracefully. And take a nice deep breath in. And nice exhale out. Let's bring one leg up to the ceiling. The other leg is out at an angle. Let's scoop that chest up towards the legs. And we're going to stretch our hamstrings and work our abs. So we're going to pulse the leg. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2. 2, 2. 2, 2. 3, 2. 3, 2. And 4, 2. 4, 2. And 5, 2. 5, 2. We're going to do 10. 6, 2. 6, 2. And there'll be a challenge option at the end. And this is 8, 2. 8, 2. 9, 2. 9, 2. 10, 2. 10, 2. What's up, buddy? And then if we want the challenge, bring your hands behind your head. Keep that scoop and do 2 more pulses each leg for 11, 2, 11, 2, and 12, and 12. And come down, hug those knees in, take a nice deep breath. I love rolling my hips in their hip sockets, so just let them release. We're going to do another great stomach exercise. We're going to bring our legs up into a V. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides. We're going to take the opposite hand and reach for the opposite ankle. And we're going to crisscross each alternating side. So that's 1 and 1. And if it's too tight in your hip flexors, bend your knees. Otherwise, keep them up for 2. This really is great for those oblique muscles. And 3. And 3. And 4. And 4. And really think about those abs pulling you up. It's not as much as the hand is kind of for your aim. And 6, we're also going to be doing 10 of these. So you want to think about those muscles. Use that up towards your ribs that help connect the abs to the back. We have 3 more each side. And reach. And reach. And 2 more each side. And reach. And last one of these. And reach and hug your knees in. And roll them in your hip sockets. We're going to do 1 more straight up abs. So we're going to come down. Take a nice deep breath in. We have two options here. We're going to do some frogs. So you can either leave your head on the mat if your neck is getting tired or strained or anything. Just leave your head on the mat. You'll still get a great ab workout. You can place your hands underneath your tailbone if that feels more comfortable, keeping your back imprinted into your mat. Heels are together, and we're going to press out at whatever angle you can get to keep your back. If you're going like this and there's a big gap, you're going to strain your low back. So I want you to try to find that angle that works best for you. Heels are together, and you're going to press out. I like the point at the end. It also helps to stretch out my ankles. And so you can do these. And if those are too easy and you want a bigger challenge, you can always lower your legs. Or I like to call them the advanced frogs. Scoop up, elbows are wide, chin is off the chest, and press out. So whichever ones you decide to do, we're going to do 10 of them. I think we're on 6. And you might have adjusted a few times. Find out what works best for you, what's challenging but not straining. And we have 3 more. Trying to really engage in those abs. 8 and 9. Keep that chin off the chest if you can. It makes your upper abs work harder. I'm going to do one more just in case I missed some while I was explaining the different ways you can do this. Hug your knees in. Take a nice breath. And we're going to bring the arms at the side, palms up to the ceiling. Lift one leg up to the ceiling and cross that leg all the way over to the floor, trying to get near your hand. So it's a pretty big stretch. We're going to lift that leg up as if we're drawing a big arc all the way towards our other hand. And again, lift up and over and up and over. You're going to feel your abs working. You're going to feel big back stretch, and you're going to feel a nice big leg stretch. So it's also going to be working your outductors or adductors. Abductors are the internal ones, or inductors. And this is our last one on this leg. So I like it. It's another multitasker. And we can bring that leg down and around. Other leg, let's lift it up. Inhale. Exhale, twist all the way over, getting that nice big back stretch. It should feel pretty good. And raise up to the ceiling, drawing a big arc, coming over to the other side towards your hand, and up and over. Trying to keep your arms on the ground. Try not to let them get up towards your head and make your neck tense. It's not a neck workout. This one, your head is nice and relaxed. Arms are below the armpits, so you're not going into your traps. And you're trying to keep that knee nice and straight. And up. And this is our last one. And up. And you can just bring it down to your bottom leg. We're going to go into a rollback. You have 2 options here. You can place your hands on your mat at your sides. Or if you're more advanced and you've done these several times, you can bring your arms over your head. We're going to lift one leg up to the ceiling, other leg up to the ceiling. And from those really strong low abs that we've been working on, you're going to start rolling your legs back towards the floor behind you. So don't think about getting them up to the ceiling. Think about the floor behind you. And take whatever stretch feels great. And again, you can flex your feet if you can for that extra hamstring stretch. Try to focus your mind into your abdominals, slowly lowering the body back down onto the mat. A little bit of challenge to keep that control. Let's bring one leg down at a time. Arms up to the ceiling, chin off the chest, and let's slowly roll up. Do your best. If you need to use your legs, you can. That's totally fine. And big forward bend. You're probably several inches lower. And if you want, you can take a break and have a sip of water, or you can do another one. These are one of my favorite exercises to keep my spine nice and supple, keep my abs nice and strong. You can roll down, and again, you can place your hands at your sides to roll back. Or if you have done these a lot, you can have your arms behind you. I like to flex my legs for an extra big stretch. Slowly lower down. Try to keep control. Try to keep those really low abs working hard right here. And bring one foot down, other foot down, arms up to the ceiling, chin off the chest, and slowly roll up. Big forward bend. And if you weren't just drinking water, you can take a sip of water. And we're going to turn over onto our stomachs, but we're going to be doing back work. Love it. I love my back work. To be completely honest, I actually used to really dislike my back work because I'd been through some accidents and it was so painful. But once I really committed to sticking with these exercises, my back has helped feel so much better. I would probably say about an 85 to 95% increase in strength and mobility in my back from just being consistent with these exercises. So we're going to come onto our stomach. We're going to place the feet about mat width apart, which just gives the low back a little bit more leeway. I want you to place your hands wherever you feel like they're comfortable. We're going to try to do some arches to warm up. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And when we come up, I want you to think about pulling those shoulder blades back together. So you're not letting the arms creep up towards your ears. I really want you to use those upper back muscles. It's a big part of strengthening that upper back. And again, don't go so far that you're jamming and hurting yourself. Do what feels good for your body. And then come back down. Again, take a nice deep breath in. And we're going to exhale. Remember, keep a lot of distance as much as you can between your shoulders and your ears and come on up. We're trying to keep those arms near our ribs, trying to keep those shoulders away from the ears and come back down. And we're going to do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Come on up. And pull those shoulder blades back. If they crept up, pull them back down. Try to keep them pulling back down so you're working those upper back muscles. And come down. And we're going to add some challenges. I have my foam roller nearby. It's actually a bamboo roller. And so make sure you have a little bit of room for your arms. We're going to come on up. And this time we're going to come down. And once our rib cage, we're going to try to hold an arch, lift our hands, bring them up over our head, and do a big swim all the way down to our legs. Bring the hands back down and lower down. We're going to do that 4 more times. We're going to come on, arch up. Start to come down, pulling those shoulder blades back together. Bring those hands up over your head and swim all the way around. And come down. And arch on up, squeezing those upper back muscles, strengthening those upper back muscles to help prevent bad posture. And then come down nice and controlled. Lift those hands when you can. Try to get them up over your head. And come around. And rest in between. We only have 2 more. Inhale, arch on up. Keeping those elbows in, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. And then when you can, lift those hands over the head and come around. Last one of these. And arch on up. Feel those back muscles working. Feel those abs stretching, which is a nice bonus about doing these after our ab work. Lift the hands up and swim and come down. We're going to do one more back exercise down here. We're going to lengthen the arms out alongside our ears. Think about still engaging the stomach up to your spine. Stretch those toes long. And we're just going to do the swimmers here because they're so good for all of your back strengthening. The back of your shoulders, the back of your back, your hamstrings, your glutes. So we're going to lift the opposite arm and opposite leg. And what I want you to think about here, if you can, float your head off the ground. If you really can't, you can put it down. And we're going to do opposite hand, opposite leg. But I want you to think about the fingers and toes stretching in opposite directions. So it's a lot of lengthening. And it's not trying to move the whole body side to side. And 3, 4, switch 4, and 5, and 5, and 6. Remember, lengthen out. 6, 7, switch 7, and 8, switch 8. 2 more, that's it. 9, switch 9, and last one, 10. Switch 10, and if you feel like you want an added bonus, Lift both the arms and both the legs up, and little fast swimmers for 5, 4, stretch, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Put your hands down. Arch up one more time and come up onto your hands and knees. And you can round the spine, tuck that tailbone down and arch. And inhale, round that spine, drop that crown of the head so you really get the cervical spine. And arch, sink that chest down. And one more. And arch. So now we're going to work on our glutes and legs. We're going to do one of my favorites. I know, they're all my favorites. But this really is. So we're going to do one of my favorites. I call it the double hip stretch. I'm going to show you from 2 directions because it's a lot of movement involved. You're going to check to make sure you're not going to kick your weights or your water bottle. And you're going to take one leg, you're going to cross it behind you, and you're going to come down like you're coming into a pigeon. So you're going to come down, keep your hands on the mat, and you get that nice stretch in that glute, and then you're going to bring this knee up towards your waist. You can keep both hands down and extend it out from your hip, hence double hip stretch. So cross it behind, go into a pigeon, and use those abs, hips, and glutes. Get that stretch. 2, we're going to do 5 and 3. And if this is too much on your bottom knee, you can actually switch into glute rainbows, drawing a nice big arc from side to side. So you're not coming down your full weight on that knee. If not, finish off your 5 of your double hip stretches. You can do 5 and 5 of either one, the glute rainbow or the double hip stretch. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like from this angle. We're going to switch legs. So again, if you want to do the glute rainbow, it's going to look like this, drawing a rainbow behind you with the toe while you're on your forearms and knee. Or if you want to do the double hip stretch, come on up, step that foot behind you, go into a pigeon so you're stretching out this hip. Feels amazing. And then you're using your abdominals, pull that knee up and extend. Your extension might be down here, that's fine. I do these because I said they're my favorite. So my extension is pretty high. It doesn't have to look like this. I want you to get wherever you are because you have to start somewhere. And 3, so 5 and 5. Either the glute rainbows or the double hip stretch, that's 4. And last one for 5. Excellent. We are almost done with this workout. Before we do a few stretches, we're going to do 2 side leg exercises. I'm not even going to say it, but they're up there. They're up there with one of my favorites. We're going to come down onto the mat. We're going to put our head in our hand. We're going to bring the feet about 45 degrees in front. Our hand can be our helper, not our doer. Or if you feel more advanced in your abs and you want to challenge your abs, you can put your hand behind your head. We're going to lift that leg up. And we're going to just start off with some nice simple bicycles. So flex that leg up to wherever you can get it to. Try to hit that straight knee. Bend the knee, keeping the hip down in line with the hip. Keeping the knee down in line with the hip. And come forward for 2. We're just going to do 5. And then we're going to do reverse it for 5. And 3. Again, you can keep your hand down for stability. 4. And 5, stretch up to our face. And then we're going to reverse it. So now bring the heel towards your glute. Then bring the knee up to your chest and then extend for 5. And 4. And helps to breathe. And 3. And 2. And I'm trying to keep this really concise. I normally want to do 4 or 5 side legs, but today I said we do 2, so we're going to do 2. This is a great one for the inner thighs. Not only is it nice to have strong inner thighs, they are what help you walk one foot in front of the other. So you can use your hand here. You have a couple options. You can bend this leg, grab onto the foot or ankle, and raise that bottom leg up. Again, it's wherever you get to. Here is great. You're going to go for 10. If you want, you can bring that leg up here and bring the bottom leg up. Again, whichever you choose, you can mix it up, whatever feels best for you. And if you want the really bigger challenge, put your hand on your head and really try not to drop that bottom leg in between. Really try to keep that control so this is active and you're working that adductor that helps you to walk strong throughout your entire life. And we have one more, or wherever you started. And I like an extra challenge for the hold for the last one. And try not to fall. Bring it down. Come on up. And we're going to switch our feet to the other side of the mat so you can still face your computer or your TV or whatever you are watching on. Come down. Back is towards the back of the mat. Feet are 45 degrees in front. Again, hips are stacked, which I forgot to remind you about, but we're going to stack the hips, raise the leg up, one-legged bicycles, 5 in each direction. Hit that big hamstring stretch. I love these for lengthening out my muscles, for keeping them really long, lean, and flexible. 3. And again, you can put your hand up here if you want to challenge your core a little bit more. That's 4. Keep it down here for stabilization. And 5, try not to let it creep up to your ears. We don't need any more tension in our necks, I'm sure. Now we're going to reverse. So again, bring that heel back to your glute. You're going to feel a quad stretch, maybe even a hip flexor stretch. Keeping those hips stacked. Bring that knee up to your chest and extend. These are the bicycles in reverse. That was 5 and 4. Try not to let the knee come up. Try to keep it in line. And 3, not only are these great to lengthen out your muscles and stretch them, they also help to build up the strength and elasticity around your joints. 2, and we have the last one. And since we're keeping this effective, I promise we're going to go into our adductors and then we get a nice, good, brief stretch after. Again, you can cross the leg over, grab onto it, raise that leg up and down. Try to keep it under control. Try not to let it flop down. Or you can keep that leg above, or you can keep it up. Whatever level you're at, do what works for you with your best control and strength involved. Because if you can't do it, you're moving all around, just take it down a notch. Do what level you feel best for you right now. And 4, try to keep that bottom leg under control. And 6, 7, we're going to try to hold that leg up at the last one. 8, 9, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and we made it. We did our arms, we did our backs, we did our legs, we did our stretching, we did our abs, and we got a little bit of great side legs in. So let's just do a nice stretch here. This is one of my clients' favorites all around. We can bring one leg out in front. Always, always, please don't skip this part. It feels so great, and it's so good for your body. The other leg is at an angle in line with your hips. The front leg is in front. The bottom leg is in front. Place your hand in a diagonal away from you. Bring the other hand up. Look at that hand. Inhale. And we're going to exhale. Twist that hand and thread it underneath your other arm. So you're getting a huge, huge back stretch, huge hip stretch. And we're going to come on up. And we're going to place that hand on your leg or the other side of the mat. Bring the stabilizing arm up and stretch that out. And we're going to repeat this 2 more times. Look at that hand. Whenever you use your eyes to follow your hand in a big motion, it's going to help increase your range of motion. So, because your body often follows where you look. So, if you're kind of just going like this, you're probably not getting the best stretch you could give yourself. So follow that hand with your eyes. And come on up. Stretching out the back, stretching out the hips, stretching out the fascia, the arms. And then before we switch the other side, we're going to lean over that hip. And again, wherever you feel comfortable, take a nice deep breath in and Get that glute a nice big stretch. Also helps to get your low back a nice big stretch. Breathing. And then we're going to come on up. We're going to switch legs. So now our bottom leg is in front. Our top leg is slightly bent and behind us. Our arm is at an angle. We're going to look up at our hand. We're going to inhale. And we're going to exhale. We're going to twist it under. Give ourselves a nice big back stretch and hip stretch. And you might even notice one side might be a little tighter. You might have a little bit of imbalances. So if you need to do extra on one side, or breathe more into one side, or hold the stretch longer, you are more than welcome to. And come up and over. And I'm just going to do one more. Inhale, exhale, threading under my arm, twisting over that hip. Really enjoying releasing all the tension right there. And come up and over. And then we're going to fold forward. Feel that extra nice hip stretch and low back stretch. Please try to breathe when you stretch or when you do any exercise or, all the time. And if you can stay with me for one last stretch. So a few people ever do this on their own, but getting a nice straddle stretch is so helpful. And it might look like this. That is completely fine. Wherever you at, just try to do it with me if you can. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, raise one arm up, and if you can, lean over. Again, it's okay if it looks like this. If your knees are slightly bent, just try it. Try to stretch. It's never going to improve if you don't try and work on it. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to turn the chest to the leg. Inhale and exhale. And fall into it. Inhale, rotate the chest over the other leg, and exhale. If you can, we're going to try to keep that back hip on the mat. And again, if this is where you're at, that's where you're at. It's fine. It's always a good one to try and work on to improve. And last one, let's do a nice forward bend. Wherever you get to, drop your head so you can release the spine. And you can grab your ankles if this is a stretch you actually do on your own. I'm very impressed. Most people don't love doing their straddles, but as we get older, we forget our legs go in all directions, and it's helpful to have flexibility so you don't get tight hips, tight back, or you can avoid some injuries that might be really grave, might be a lot less when you're more flexible. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel like this was effective, fun, and efficient, and hope to see you